Hello everyone, and welcome to game number 10 of the 2013 World Chess Championship match between Viswanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen. As you've seen in my previous 9 videos from this match, Carlsen is now 3 points in the lead. The result is 6-3, and if Anand wants to continue playing this match, he has to win all of the next 3 games in a row to equalize the score. So it was definitely a tough blow for Anand in game 9. As you've seen, he found that beautiful move, rook to f4, but he missed Carlsen's idea of queen e1, and then, he immediately had to resign the game as there was nothing to look for anymore. But even that game, as Anand says, was not such a terrible blow as the one he faced in game 5. But before we check out the game, we do have a quick photo challenge for this video, and it's really a difficult one. So I will give you one hint, as I don't think it would be possible to solve this one without a hint. So here it is. Who is the person that is still in the train? So not the gentleman outside of the train, but the person inside the train behind Mrs. N. So I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I will give you a hint. There is a certain line of the Sicilian defense named after him. A pretty famous one at that. So best of luck to everyone. Now let's check out the game. Anand is now playing with the black pieces, and out of the next 3 games he will have the black pieces twice, and only once will he have the white pieces. And if he doesn't win this game, then the match is instantly over, as Carlsen already has 6.5 points. So let's see what Anand plays when he has to win the game. Carlsen opens with e4, and here Anand goes for c5. So now we have the Sicilian defense. Here you can see that, when you need to win, play the Sicilian. Knight to f3, d6, and here Carlsen doesn't go for the standard d4, rather he goes for bishop to b5, the Canal attack. This comes with check, and Anand blocks it with knight to d7. Bishop to d7 is also possible, but Anand already tried this against Carlsen in 2012 in Bilbao, and Carlsen won that game. So knight to d7 here. d4, c captures on d4, queen captures on d4, and a6, attacking the bishop. I think we have a photo from this game. Okay, it's not this position. Maybe it is this position. The bishop is. No, the bishop moved. So it's not really that position, but I think it could be. Yeah, I have no idea. Oh yeah, that's a pawn. Okay, so it's a position that will happen a few moves down. But just to get in the mood. So a6, bishop captures on d7, bishop captures on d7, and now c4. Knight to c3 is also possible. It's the sharpest variation, but Carlsen wants to keep everything solid. He did give up the bishop pair, but he has a very nice center and a firm grip on the d5 square. We have knight to f6. Also here, a nice sharp variation is e5, but Anand and Carlsen already played this variation in Sandes in 2013, and Anand couldn't achieve anything in that variation, so if he wants to win, he has to try something different. So knight to f6, we have bishop to g5, e6, knight to c3, we have bishop to e7, castles, bishop to c6 now, queen back to d3, and Anand castles. Knight to d4 now. Carlsen goes for the light square bishop. Rook to c8, and now b3. We have queen to c7, now knight captures, we have queen captures, and rook to c1. Every exchange that happens on the board definitely goes Carlsen's way, as he does have the white pieces. He only needs a draw to become world champion, so simply just, keeping everything solid. h6, now bishop to e3. Knight to d7, and now bishop to d4. Rook f to d8, we have h3, queen to c7, and now rook f to d1. Queen to a5, and now queen to d2, preparing either to trade queens, but also the queen now gives further protection to the a2 pawn. Here we have king to f8. Bishop to g5 is possible, but the bishop to g5 can be met with f4. But also bishop to e3 works very nicely. After bishop captures, queen captures, knight is coming to e5. And this is perfectly fine for black, but it's not going to give you any advantages, and you can't really afford to trade pieces. You're not going to win the game by trading pieces. So after queen d2, we have king to f8. Now Carlsen plays
queen to b2, and here a very interesting moment. Anand repeats the position, king to g8. It seems that Vishy has given up in an attempt to actually win this game, and he allows Carlsen to also repeat the position. And who knows, maybe he's just testing Carlsen, or maybe he really would repeat the position for the third time. But here we have a very interesting moment. Carlsen actually doesn't repeat the position, even though he only needs a draw to win this match. He plays a4 and he continues the fight. Queen to h5. We have knight to e2, bishop to f6, and here comes rook to c3. A nice rook lift. Now the rook will also help out with the defense of the pieces and the pawns in the center. We have bishop captures, rook captures, and queen to e5 now. Queen to d2, now comes knight to f6, and now rook to e3. And now Carlsen's rooks are very awkwardly placed here. This rook is not very active, you know. It has to stay here to keep an eye on the e4 pawn, and also this rook has to stay here to keep an eye on the e4 pawn. So not the greatest activity out of these rooks, but Anand's rooks aren't also so active. So rook to d7. We have a5 now, locking those pawns on the queen side, and here Anand makes a blunder. He plays queen to g5. And here Carlsen immediately takes advantage of this. He plays e5. Now, of course, you cannot capture the pawn as your rook on d7 is hanging. So knight to e8 only move, and now Carlsen plays e captures on d6. This is releasing the tension too soon. Here Carlsen could have gone. Could have kept the tension and maybe even played this game out for a win by knight to c3, and then the knight is also coming in to attack the queen and also to pile up on the d6 pawn. But Carlsen decided to play e captures on d6. Probably not because he didn't see how to improve the tension. Maybe because he now realized that, you know, I only need a draw. I don't really need to win this game. So rook to c6, now further piling up on the d6 pawn. We have f4 attacking the queen, queen to d8, and now rook to d3. And here there really is nothing better. You simply do have to grab the pawn. So rook captures, rook captures, rook captures, rook captures, queen captures, and knight captures. And now you can see that the material is completely equal on the board. Both players have 2 pawn islands, but Carlsen does have 3-2 advantage on the queen side. And for those of you who are new to chess, you might say, okay, but Anand has 4-3 advantage on the king side. But the advantage isn't so important because there are also kings here. So 4 pawns and the king will not be able to push against 3 pawns and the king. But 3 pawns against 2 pawns without kings, that's a very nice advantage. So king to f2, of course you have to bring your king into the game. King to f8, king e3, king e7, king to d4, king to d7, king to c5 now, king to c7, knight to c3. We have knight to f5, knight to e4, knight to e3, and now g3. We have f5 and now knight to d6. Knight to d2 was also possible, simply keeping an eye on everything, but Carlsen has a very nice idea. He plays knight to d6, g5 comes, and now knight to e8 with check. We have king to d7, now knight to f6 with check, king to e7, and now knight to g8 with check, king to f8, and now we have knight captures on h6. G captures on f4, G captures on f4, and now king to g7. And it seems Carlsen's knight is trapped and the knight has nowhere to go. And of course that is true, but this was all part of Carlsen's plan. Knight captures on f5 was played. We have e captures on f5. If you play knight captures on f5, then the knight is too far away from the queen side, and then white will even win this game because he simply eliminates these pawns, and then 3 passed pawns will be winning. So here knight captures on f5, and now king to b6. I meant e captures on f5, and now king to b6, going after the queenside pawns. Now comes knight g2, king captures on b7, knight captures on f4. We have king captures on a6, and now knight to e6. King to b6, we have f4, a6, f3. Both players are pushing their passed pawn. a7, f2. Carlsen brings a queen into the game. Anand also brings a queen into the game. Queen to d5. attacking the knight. Now queen to e1 defending, and now queen to d6. It's a very complicated position because there are three passed pawns against a knight. But you know, the kings are on an open board. There's really no way for each side to make progress. The other side will always be able to do something about it. So queen e3 check, king moves, now comes knight to c4 check, c5 check. But since Anand does have a knight, you know, it's always possible that something can happen. Knights are tricky. King to b5, knight captures on b3. Now queen checks, king moves, queen b6. Now forcing a trade of queens. We have queen captures, king captures, and now you can see that no longer can Anand win the game as he only has a knight. So we have king to h5. Now comes h4. King captures on h4. c5. Anand Carlsen even pushes it all the way. We have knight captures on c5, and it was in this position that the players agreed to a draw. Oh, I mean, it's a draw by insufficient material. I believe that's the correct term. But you know, again, they draw in a position where Carlsen could have captured the knight, you know, and nicely leave the kings on the board, but they decided to leave it this way. So yeah. That's game 10, and since Anand was unable to win game 10, that means that the 2013 World Chess Championship is over. Magnus Carlsen won the World Chess Championship title, and he is now the new World Chess Champion, and he's still the new World Chess Champion ever since he took the title away from Viswanathan Anand. So yeah, that was the game. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I do hope you enjoyed this entire coverage. You know, I do have to say that I really enjoyed it myself, because really researching about what happened, you know, before every game, at every game, you know, even the little things, what players ate during the games, you know, pretty much everything. Really, I feel that, you know, it helped improve my vast knowledge, and hopefully yours too. So yeah. Gonna figure out what to do next. Probably gonna, you know, just relax a bit, figure out, maybe do some of your suggestions, maybe do a nice mini series about something, and then before starting the next big series, I think we'll do voting again, and then, you know, whatever you prefer, then that's where we'll go. Either visit some old classics, you know, either visit Capablanca and Aljechin, either Bobby Fischer. Or you know, we can even just continue with the 2014 candidates tournament, and then you know, and so on. But yeah, you know, there are countless possibilities, so I will definitely, you know, ask you for your advice. And like we've said, I'm still taking suggestions. What do you want for the 200,000 subscribers stream? So feel free to suggest that as well. And you know, if you have any interesting games, do suggest them now, as I might even leave my hometown for the weekend, so I'm gonna have to prepare something while I'm away. So yeah, I would like to thank Stephen Green, James Graham, Stuart Snooty, Hrvoje Suric, and Randy Given for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check all my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, hopefully with some new interesting and, you know, vast knowledge improving videos. So yeah, yeah, I did prepare some photos here. So as you know, after, you know, Carlsen was very happy, and you're welcome to check out the press conference after game 10. I will also put a link to it in the description below. But then after everything was over, then they threw Carlsen in the pool. This is a nice photo. You can see that Anand isn't too unhappy. Of course you are unhappy, you just lost the World Chess Championship title, but you know, he did congratulate Carlsen, and he did say that you know, it was totally deserving, and you know, that he definitely dominated the entire match. After that game 5, everything just went downhill for Anand. But yeah, then after all was said and done, after the press conference, they threw Magnus Carlsen in the pool, and here there is even a video available of this moment. You can find it easily online. Here, let's just check out one more from the pool, and yeah, that's it. That's it for this World Chess Championship series. Once again, thank you all, and I will see you soon with some hopefully interesting content. See you soon.